Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ben Sandman Green and welcome to ESL Arena here at PAX Australia 2015 for the Smite Oceania Regional Championships. In January, Australians and New Zealanders watched 8 teams from around the world play Smite at the absolute highest level. But one thing was missing, an Oceania representative of our own. Since then, teams from around Australia and New Zealand have been training, strategizing and battling it out for a chance to be here today and the opportunity to qualify as Oceania's first representative at the Smite World Cup. Many teams have competed, but only 4 remain. The undefeated Oceania Pro League champions Avant Garde and the equally impressive Direwolves qualified as first and second seed through the OPL. Their challenges for today, SYF Gaming and Integral Nation qualified 3rd and 4th seed in the Challengers Cup. At stake today and tomorrow is Australia's largest ever one-day prize pool, $65,000, and the opportunity for a guaranteed spot as Oceania's first representative at the Smite World Championships in January 2016. Our first semi-final today will be Avant Garde up against Integral Nation. It's my absolute pleasure to pass you over to our commentators for this game. It is Husey and Adonis.
Hello there, Smite fans. Welcome to PAX Australia. Joining me on the casting desk today, hi-rez Adonis. Adonis, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited. Flew into Melbourne 3-4 days ago. Not as hot as I expected. Thankfully, I guess you guys are still in like spring or something.
It's spring.
You guys are like reversed. Everything's upside down here in Australia.
I mean, we're walking normal side up.
What, you guys like pass on the left? I'm like bumping into everyone. Everyone's getting mad at me. Like, I've only been here a few days.
Thank goodness you're not driving.
Oh,
I can't imagine what that'd be like.
God.
But enough with all that, folks. We are going to get straight into set number 1 between Avant Garde and Integral Nation. Now, Avant Garde, undefeated throughout the whole Oceanic Pro League. They were the class of the competition since the day they stepped into competitive Smite. They've made 1 roster change in the last 6 months. And since then, they've only lost 1 set, and that was to the 2nd seed Direwolves in the Invitational ladder. So they come in with a lot of pressure, a lot of weighted expectations on their shoulders.
That's the crazy thing to me. It's been like 9 months. In the past 9 months, Avant Garde has lost 1 set.
Yep.
That is incredible. That's not something you see in North America or Europe too often. A couple years ago, maybe, but now it's super competitive. Avant is that good. I've seen what some of their players do. These guys have studied the best from around the world, and they're ready to prove themselves in Oceania against Integral Nation. And you can see the 5 players here. Biggy, the team captain and support player. Ochita, the mid. Rowe, the jungle. Sporks in solo. And Subfloor, the hunter.
Let's take a look at those stats right there. 14 games played in the Pro League, a collective 19.5 kill to death assist ratio. 100% win rate. Those are numbers. Numbers
Biggy,
don't lie.
Yeah, Biggy didn't die for like 5 weeks, was it?
Yep, something like that.
He's a support player? He's like, I'm a little mad at him.
The team that he did die to, however, was Integral Nation.
Oh, Integral. Maybe they can kill him again, or 2 or 3 times. Integral, though, this is the team that has been really on razor's edge, I would say. They didn't even make it into the Pro League originally. A team disbanded, and they actually took the spot as the 9th seed that just missed out. But they have done such a good job at fighting back. Even though they weren't even at the Pro League originally, that level, they have risen up. And then through the Challengers Cup, at the end of the Pro League, they earned their spot, making it all the way to the finals and securing the 4th seed.
Yeah, Integral, as you mentioned, not getting into the Pro League, and the first game they played there in the Pro League was against Invidious. Just missed out on taking game 1, but took game 2 away from them. Robdigidy, the ADC and captain, going off in that game. He's going to be supported today by his brother, Tomahawk, the man with the really long hair there. In the middle lane, we've got Oenamaus. In the jungle is going to be FaunKeH and the solo laner, Jack47. Now, you can hear the cheers from the crowd. Bit of the people's team coming into this one. As you mentioned, the incredible story of this team making it through, not even making it into the Pro League, having to take another team spot, and then the Challengers Cup tournament, making it through for that 4th seed here at PAX and the chance to play
and they weren't even the favorited. They were expected to go out, maybe not so much early, but kind of in the middle of the pack. There were some other teams that were looking strong, but they made it through, and this is LAN. And not a single one of these teams, not a single one of these players at this event have competed in a LAN tournament, in a LAN environment, and it is completely different. Everything is a blank slate. Every one of these teams have been practicing and getting prepared for this environment, and it's just going to be different. Some players, they play up to expectations. Some players exceed. Some players, they just don't have it at LAN.
It's just a completely different environment, as you mentioned, and you get to sit next to all of your teammates, the guys that you've known for so long playing Smite, and the communication, it changes. Because you're not sitting down at your computer alone anymore where you can press the mute button and rage. You've got to sit with these people, you've got to live with these people through LAN and then onto the SWC if you make it through. But with all that, folks, let's go ahead and get into picks and bans of game number 1 between Avant Garde and Integral Nation.
So who are you looking at between these two teams, Hughes? What player specifically on each roster? We're going to start with Integral Nation. Who is the key player for you?
It's got to be Oenamaus in the mid lane, because the mid lane controls so much of the map. It gives you access to so many important things. Mid camps, Gold Fury, Fire Giant. And if Mouse can go off and put out a lot of damage, that will take Integral very far. It'll get him to the late game where Robdigidy can really take over in the carry position he's most comfortable with.
It's going to be about getting Robdigidy to that late game. We're in picks and bans, everyone. Integral Nation on the left side. They're the order side. They're going to be first pick. Bans have already started. Zobek taking away. Probably a little bit targeted at Sporks or Biggy. Do they both play this gun?
They definitely both play this one. We can see Janus being banned away by Avant Garde as well. That's, certainly a target ban towards Oenamaus, one of his stronger gods, and just one of the stronger gods in the game right now. Being nerfed, relatively soon, but at the moment too strong to let through. And Sun Wukong being banned away from Integral, another god that you must get rid of.
These picks and bans are flying. Athena first picked and locked in. Smart choice from what I'm looking at. A lot of these frontliners, Sobek, Sun Wukong, Geb, the players you want defending your carries, peeling for them and making sure they stay alive, locked out in ban phase. Integral Nation recognizes this, picks up one of the best gods for that defensive carry role, supportive role in Athena. Immediately respond, Avant Garde though, Ares and Bellona.
So Bellona can go either in the jungle or in the solo lane. Rowe plays Bellona. Sporks very comfortable with Bellona as well. Ares obviously going towards Biggy. He's very similar in playstyle to Aurora from Cognitive Gaming.
Okay.
Very aggressive, likes to get up in your face and to really mess things up for your team fight. Back towards Integral Nation now, we can see Xing Tian picked up and Nuwa. So Xing Tian, I feel like that could be a solo pick, possibly jungle.
Jungle? I haven't really seen it in jungle role, at least at the highest levels in EU and NA. We've seen it in the supportive role, we've seen it in the solo lane, but a little bit of ambiguity
if you've ever played
these
with,
teams.
If you've ever played with FaunKeH in ranked, you know he has the craziest picks, so I don't take away anything. That could be Nuwa jungle for FaunKeH.
Please don't tell me it's
It's not
jungle.
going to be
I'd be
It's
like,
not gonna be
hey,
Nuwa
LAN anything happens, anything goes, but not Nuwa in jungle. That mage doesn't roll. Zhong though, most recently buffed, very tanky mage, does a lot of team fight, AoE damage, not so much single target, but he is heavy. Literally, like in game, he's like wide. He's like you and me combined.
Yeah.
And a lot of slows in his kit, some stuns, and he's just a frontliner that has a lot of protection.
What I really like about Avant's draft so far is it's very flexible. Bellona and Zhong, while they have their traditional roles, they can go elsewhere. And that just allows them to adapt to what Integral Nation does. And the fact that Avant's got that last pick to really counter what Integral does with their last two picks is going to be essential for deciding their strategy.
Hou-Yi locked in for Avant Garde. That's going to Subfloor. And this pick has really risen recently with some of the buffs we've seen to him. He's a very good dueler. Not so much at lane clearing, but his trick shot, it can actually bounce his main ability off walls, hit players, stun them if he marks them up. A lot of boxing potential, but from Subfloor, that's a player you don't really see boxing too much. A lot of passiveness in lane, not so much looking for the fights.
It's also a counter pick because Robdigidy's favorite god of all time is Hou-Yi. And in some of his first OPL matches, he did something like 60k damage in one game with Hou-Yi.
What?
60k.
How long did the game go?
55 minutes?
Okay. That's still a lot for a hunter, though. That's absurd.
Guan and Anhur locked in for Integral Nation's last two picks. Guan, the healing meta coming back in, really useful in team fight situations. As well as that, setting up with the cavalry charge is going to be really great for Integral if you can get that off. Anhur as well picked up for Robdigidy in the ADC role. That's just Robdigidy in a nutshell. Aggressive, likes to box with you, will 1v1 anyone, any day of the week. And that's just so much his character.
Anhur is that god that if you're looking for these early fights, he's the key. He has a lot of stun set up. His abilities to do a lot of damage at base. Heading in the late game, he really transitions that role into kind of a peeler hunter, which is not something you see. The Sand Pillar does so much at really just controlling space and around objectives, especially in tight, narrow corridors in the jungle. You can really lock down and slow down the enemy team.
Exactly right. All right, so that's going to do it for picks and bans, folks. We're going to head straight into game number 1 between Avant Garde and Integral Nation. Folks, let's hear some noise for your first two Oceanic representatives at the PAX Regional Finals.
One team from Oceania going to make it. We're looking at Avant Garde as the key. but Integral Nation have proven to be a team that plays spoiler. Are they going to be able to do it here? It's a best of 3. Anything goes. We're in game. Follow in Rowe.
So Rowe's got that Odin pick coming out of the jungle. So Sporks has got Bellona in the solo lane. If we take a look towards these picks now, Rowe's just gone for the Boomba's Mask start, nothing else other than a couple of wards. So he's going to be going up, placing them probably around the speed buff or the red, and then allowing himself to know when those timers are up and then possibly steal them away come the 4-minute mark.
A lot of grouping from both teams. You can really see Integral Nation grouped up as 5. Pretty defensive positioning, though. I don't think either team wants to get a little bit too crazy and look for invades early on. Rowe taking a trip back to base, going to be finishing up his items before he finishes that. Looking at these direct matchups, let's talk about this mid lane. Ochita versus Oenamaus. And you said it to me, right? Oenamaus is this player that can just go off, but he doesn't always go off. It's kind of a 50-50. If he can get going early, though, we could see him carry.
His team really need to protect him in the early game. And that's why I feel Robdigidy's got the Anhur for that early game aggression, allow him to rotate a little bit. If they can get Mouse online and doing damage, he will do damage. But it's all about protecting that mid lane in the early game. And look at what FaunKeH's playing in the jungle. It's Athena. And that is just peel embodied.
This is something that, Oceania really likes to run, is this Athena jungle. I know we've seen it from multiple teams. We'll see how it works out here. Game's getting underway. We're just going to have a typical start, just the players and teams grabbing their buffs. A nice little start here to Oenamaus. He's going to have to get to this lane as fast as he can, though, because Zhong already going to have that push.
You really don't want to be late to a Zhong. He can poke you out really easily, and Anhur early game hasn't got the best clear in the world. It's all right, but it's not great, and you just don't want to be anywhere near Zhong.
Pretty basic stuff for now. I think we're just going to see some pretty passive play here until these teams really get rolling. A lot of times, especially in your first land setting, nerves are here, and I think we could see that. You saw the spectator earlier pointing out 2 wards that were placed that were actually stacked on top of each other, both placed by Integral. So we'll have to see if their play is going to be affected by that as well.
The warding is really emphasized heavily in Oceania, especially by Direwolves and Avant Garde. They really like knowing where the other team is early, and so they can either avoid early rotations or they can put them in themselves. And at the moment, Avant Garde's got 2 very well-placed wards going into the middle lane, and it's exactly what I said. They know that they have to pick on Mouse early.
I love this aggressiveness from Avant. You can see the invade already coming out. It's an Odin and Zhong. Really, the Athena and Anhur don't have a lot of kill potential. They basically have no kill potential early unless the other team messes up. And Avant, that's not the team that's going to be messing up. FaunKeH actually throwing his dash out there. He could be in a lot of trouble if Rowe and Ochita recognizes.
Yeah, Rowe could look for some aggression here. They're just going to back through the wave here.
That's nerves.
Yeah.
That is nerves. Those players should have been super aggressive onto that Athena. Her dash was down. Maybe not a kill, but she guaranteed would have been forced back to base.
In the solo lane, Sporks getting some nice poke onto Jack 47 there. Hits him with the bludgeon. Jack healing himself up. Guan, nice for some sustain in lane, but Sporks at the moment really dominating this lane. That's kind of how we expect it to go. Sporks, one of the top solo laners in Oceania, really likes putting the pressure on. If you can get some pressure early, look to see him rotate early.
Is he a strong rotator, someone who really comes into the mid game and looks for that aggression? Speaking of aggression, Robdigidy in a lot of trouble, chained up. He can't jump at all.
First blood to Subfloor there from Avant Garde. They take the first kill in this game, and that's Ares. He did so much damage.
Look at this aggressive lane from Biggy and Subfloor. The Boxer and Hui who can bank shots off, do almost half your life if you can combo it perfectly. And then Ares, who can lock you down, cripple you, making sure you can use no escape abilities. You saw that happen just there. Robdigidy just getting a little bit too far out and falling.
And Tomahawk couldn't really peel for him terribly well there. Like, Xing Tian can peel effectively. He's got a root. But until he gets his ultimate online, that can be a little bit ineffective, especially against an Ares cripple. Jack 47 taken very low in the solo lane. As we said before, Sporks has got this lane under wraps. It's his lane to lose at this point.
He needs to be a little bit careful, though. If Sporks ended up using his ult, you have to look at the global rotations coming out from Integral. We talked about Mouse in the mid and FaunKeH in the jungle. Both these gods have globals. FaunKeH actually going to be able to teleport all the way in Jack's defense and reduce that damage he's taking. Sporks needs to play it a little bit careful, and I think that's what we saw. He possibly could have dove there looking for the kill, but Sporks giving a lot of respect to this team.
As well as that, Guan has got a heal. He can sustain himself in lane, so you can take him down, but he's going to build himself back up, and actually getting overly aggressive on him.
Oh, this is trouble. Robdigidy, no beats for him. He's actually getting spun around. Tomahawk trying to peel, but he maybe caught himself. You can see FaunKeH coming down and running away there.
Biggy is the one in trouble now. Good stone pillar there from Robdigidy to stop the aggression from Avant, but really, Integral could have forced something there. They had 3-on-2, but it just wasn't to be. Mouse has gone back to base at this point, so the mid lane's going to be pressured here by Ochita and Rowe.
That for me was a huge play by Tomahawk. The ult from Biggy came out. Xing used that Whirlwind of Rage Steel at the perfect time, meaning the second that Robdigidy got pulled to Ares, he was able to send him flying backwards with that AoE pull.
What was really important there as well is that Robdigidy wasn't level 5, so
yes.
he didn't have his ultimate to get the CC immunity.
No beads either.
Yep, he's too early in the game to be able to get himself out of that one effectively. Mouse and FaunKeH going to take the left-hand side mid-camps. These mid-camps I feel will play a big part in this game, seeing who can get farmed up early. As we mentioned before, if Mouse can get towards that late game stage, he can be the carry that this team needs to take them past Avant Garde.
So far, we haven't really seen too much aggression outside of that first blood onto Robdigidy. We saw Biggy obviously try for a second one using his ult there, but wasn't able to get anything. I really feel like Avant have to keep up this pressure, though. They need to be aggressive. They have an Ares, and they have this Hu-Yi who got an early first blood. He got that kill. I want to see the pressure come out from Avant, because otherwise, this Odin, this pick that is so strong early, has a lot of base damage, is going to start to fall off.
Once he starts to fall off, where do you think Avant Garde's going to be prioritizing their damage? Do you think it's all going to be set up for Ochita?
It's going to have to be a mix of Ochita and Subfloor, but Ochita, realistically, he can't 100-0 burst an individual player. His damage comes out over time. Once he unleashes his ghost bags for his ultimate, it's kind of like over 5 or 6 seconds you can kill someone. It's not like a Noir where if you could combo perfectly with blowing up the clay minions and the fire shards that you can just one-shot a player completely.
I really like the combination of the Zhong play and the Odin though, because you get locked in that Odin cage. Realistically, only FaunKeH and Robdigidy can get out of that cage.
Yeah, I mean, FaunKeH, and he's going to have to burn his ult, which realistically, that late into the game, it's going to be used, and something you really don't want to be forced to use defensively. Subfloor taking a peek into that lane there, backs off immediately as he sees Tomahawk and Robdigidy pushing it up.
If we take a look at the warding down on the map, we can see it's all Avant Garde at this point. Looks like Sporks is getting some aggression in the solo lane onto Jack 47, but I don't think much is going to come out of that one there. But yeah, the vision at this point is all Avant Garde.
Pretty passive play though, and considering that they have all this vision, Avant, they're typically a team looking for aggression. Oh, that could be trouble.
Biggy gets a no escape down at the FaunKeH, uses the Defender of Olympus going up in slow motion, lands down onto Jack 47. The safest place he could have landed, some healing if he got a bit low there. But now that ultimate's down, this is where Avant know they can pick on FaunKeH a little bit.
Sporks. No aggression. FaunKeH just kind of throwing out that tongue and a little bit of damage. Rowe has actually rotated over to the solo lane as well. Looks like after FaunKeH took his trip there, just making sure Sporks is going to be okay in the solo lane. Rowe, though, looking pretty aggressive here. You could see 3 members of an Integral Nation grouped up, and Rowe's walking right on a ward.
Yeah, so Integral will know that he is there going to back away under their own tower. Mouse, he's really focused on living, as we mentioned. If he gets taken down early, there comes the Eagles rally from Sporks. Down goes Jack 47. That is another kill there for Avant Garde. They are up 2-0. Good solo kill there from Sporks.
Fantastic solo kill, and Sporks, who was already controlling this lane, not even controlling, dominating this lane, taking a single kill, got no assist across the map, which means all the golden experience goes just to him, and he has a huge lead now against Jack, who's going to be forced back. You take a look at the builds. Mystical Mail started up for Sporks. If he finishes that before we see Jack get any defensive items, it is over for Jack. Jack is playing super defensive, teamfight only style.
We can see the mid-camps there abandoned by Integral Nation. As soon as they saw Biggy walking around, they knew that Rowe and Ochita was going to be there.
Biggy is being so aggressive. You can see he only has Blink 1, but he's constantly looking for the chains. He wants to cripple a player, lock them out, or force them to use beads. And if you look at the actives across the map on Integral Nation, only 1 set, and that's on the mid lane.
It's curious as well for me to look at the support starter items. We can see that Biggy has gone the Mark of the Vanguard, but Tomahawk's got Watcher's Gift. Usually you'd see a Mark of the Vanguard against Ares to combat that tick damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's a direct reduction of 5 damage. And any dots, it's not destroying the dots, but it's significantly reducing their potency. Vanguard is so good against the Ares, but not coming out here.
Taking a look at Subfloor now, he hasn't got any lifesteal items online. He's gone for Transcendence, nearly fully stacked at this point. Tier 2 boots, but he's not bothered with lifesteal at all. Robdigidy has got his Devourer's Gauntlets online, but he's so far ahead of Robdigidy, he's not afraid to box anyway.
No, Jack and FaunKeH doing their blue. Avant, they were looking to try and steal it away, but not going to happen yet. Jack able to secure that before they rotate in. FaunKeH only level 9 to Rowe's 10, falling a little bit behind in experience. If we actually take a look at the graphs of Avant Garde right now, up about 1,000 gold, but 2,400 experience is pretty significant this early on.
It's actually surprised me that they're not ahead more. Avant Garde during the OPL were so much better than nearly all the other teams. When they played Integral, they destroyed them. And Integral, while obviously you're here to win the game, this is it. This is the final thing you can do for Smite OCE this year other than go to Worlds. The improvement I've seen out of this team is immense.
I mean, they had a month to prepare for the regionals. You know they've been scrimming. They've been practicing against SYF, and maybe the team's found a strategy. Maybe they just improved that much in this past month. Avant, though, looks like they're getting aggressive in the mid.
No escape pulled from Biggy there. FaunKeH goes down. Ochita picks up a kill, and now Mouse is trapped in the cage with Rowe. Up he goes with the fire shards, but he's coming down in the middle of 3 members of Avant. He can only run towards their tower. Down he goes. Ochita's got himself a double.
Nowhere to go. 2 more kills before Avant extending their lead, and they're going straight to the Gold Fury. Take the 2 main carries in the core of Integral, take the main objective, but look at this. Robdigidy, Tomahawk, the brothers, they're trying to defend it.
Biggy misses a chain there. Tomahawk goes in with the ultimate. Robdigidy, he steals it with the spears, takes it out. Rowe nearly dead here. Tomahawk picks up a kill onto Rowe.
Look at Jack.
47 teleported to a ward. Subfloor jumps down. FaunKeH's coming in with the Defender of Olympus. It's not enough. Ochita picks up a kill, and Jack is by himself. Cavalry charge comes out. He needs to get out of there.
He's going to back off, not able to trade out with Biggy, but Integral Nation stealing the Gold Fury, not only evening up this game, but making it dead even. Jack, he's going to be forced out of the mid here. Great response by the Zhong brothers to steal away that and keep the game close.
That is the kind of communication you can only have from sharing a bedroom with someone for 10 years.
Oh man, I feel so sorry for them. I feel so sorry for them.
Have you seen Tomahawk's hair though? It's amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, the viewers at home can't see it, but everyone live, like, look, can you guys see his hair? Oh, it's so long. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Hit me up. Oh, shit, yeah.
5 kills to 1 though. Avant dead even with Integral. Robdigidy farming up a tower was taken by Sporks. Look at this though. Mouse in a lot of trouble. No ultimate to use.
Great stun there. Stuns out 3 members of Avant, but Biggy picks him up with the chain. Subfloor looking for something. No escape. Goes down. Doesn't pull in Jack 47. Tomahawk
He's in trouble.
Biggy half health at this point. He's between 4 members of IN. Robdigidy gets himself another one.
I actually really like what Biggy did there. Backing off away from his team, but a 2-man taunt coming in from this Athena. There goes Rowe's all. And look at the demons going through. Ochita finds one. Robdigidy in a lot of trouble, but the chase! The Rowe chase finds the kill. Robdigidy gonna fall 8 kills to 2. Avant Garde being super aggressive right now into the jungle.
That looked like a scene out of the Matrix where they're like leaping over at the same time. It was beautifully timed.
You know, that was perfectly timed from Rowe. Continuing to be aggressive. You know, we talked about it early. Rowe wasn't, rotating the lanes too much, looking for picks, looking for kills. But now in this team fight phase, Avant showing up.
And now they look like they're going to take the tier 1 tower on the left-hand side. Pretty free here. They've got a full minion wave. I don't think Mouse is going to get here in time. Rowe just clears out the minions with 1 jump.
Yeah, you can see Integral. They're rotating over Tomahawk. Is he going to take this fight? I mean, this is a 2-on-4. This is dangerous. No tower.
Sporks uses the Eagles rally to get away there. Subfloor doesn't land the ricochet stun onto Tomahawk.
They're stopping the backs. Look at Jack on the right. Jack actually split pushing, making sure that Sporks can't get back to defend his tower. He's going to take the trip back to base. The question is, will he buy the teleport to try and defend it?
It'll be really important.
He bought it.
If he does. Yeah, here he comes. But can Jack take it down in time? He's got a full minion wave there. Sporks has got one coming in.
Not even going to try.
Yeah, Jack doesn't even want it.
So the rotation from Tomahawk forces Sporks all, but that ability, Eagles Rally, on a pretty low cooldown, not a big win for him, and Sporks still defends that tier 1 tower.
Sporks is so much more tanky than Jack at this point. He's got a full mystical mail on him.
I mean, look at that. I mean, Jack only has boots. He has boots, Bluestone, and a teleport 3. He is so far behind Sporks right now. This is what he has to do. Jack needs to just play passive, split push, and then use that teleport 2 wards to make sure to be there for team fights.
Take a look at FaunKeH now. He's got the cooldown boots, and he's going into a mail of renewal. So he really wants to be in those team fights. And if he can get a kill or assist in there, that passive is just so strong for him. I really like this item.
The problem for me is there's only 2 kills on the board for Integral. Even if he gets this mail of renewal online, if they can't find the kills, it's significantly weaker than any other physical defense item. You buy that item for the passive, and if you can't find kills or assists, and you're not proccing the passive where you're regenning life and mana, it's just not worth it.
I think, though, he's building for the future. He's waiting to get Mouse online, and then he thinks that's when the kills and assists are going to come. He's being very hopeful. Biggy jumping in now. He's got the no escape. Mouse goes up. FaunKeH uses his beads there.
Beads 1. That's pretty important. Look at Subfloor on the left-hand side, though. It's a duel. Robdigidy versus Subfloor. Robdigidy looking for the autos, but he has to back off as the rotation from Avant come in.
Defender of Olympus there as well, used from FaunKeH. Was thinking Rob was going to go more aggressive, looking to come in and take the kill, but now that's down, it's on cooldown. That's really important for Avant.
Look at these builds coming out from the Hunter specifically, actually. Robdigidy electing to go Transcendence, doesn't have a lot of lifesteal online, or Subfloor, excuse me. That's why we're seeing Robdigidy take these fights, and he's got the lifesteal. I mean, if they're dueling evenly right now, Robdigidy's just going to be coming out ahead.
I really like how Subfloor, though, is going into the Devourer's Gauntlets because it's going to give him extra health, extra physical protection in those boxing matches. And realistically, late game, Ho-Yi is one of the best, if not the best, boxing hunter.
Once you throw that Hunter's Mark, there is not a single other Hunter that's going to be able to fight you, especially now with that bounce being on a 10-second cooldown. You get a stun every 10 seconds on a player that's marked.
Look at Mouse. He's got a blink.
Mouse has a blink. Oh, probably a combat blink, honestly. He's scared of Rowe.
Yep.
You see that ultimate, we talked about it, right? There's only a couple players on Integral. They're going to be able to get out of that Odin cage. And honestly, you're going to need combat blink that late in the game.
Integral just taking a backhand here. 3-man splitting it at this point, playing very safe. They don't want to be caught out at any point by Rowe. Rowe and Subfloor hanging around the gold view at this point, could be thinking to take it straight off cooldown.
Look at Rowe. You can see that counter ward coming out. I think he wanted to go onto Robdigidy. Robdigidy, no wards in hand. Gold Fury has respawned. You can see Avant. They're already circling around it, but Robdigidy and Tomahawk, they're not going to let it go for free. They stole it last time. We'll have to see. Oh, it started by Avant.
It's a 5-man grouping of both teams. Sporks has come in into the mid lane now. This fight could be a huge turning point in the game. Avant leashing it, but Biggy gets in. 4-man, no escape. Mouse goes up. The only one pulled in is no one. He doesn't get anyone but Rowe. Locks out Tomahawk in the cage. Sporks is fending off 3 members of Integral by himself. Rowe gets the kill on Tomahawk. Robdigidy leaps away. There's a great disarm from Sporks, but Rob manages to walk away from that one alive. But Avant should get this Gold Fury for free.
Avant forced 3 players back. You can just see how scary Sporks is. Level 15. There is not a player above 13 or 14 on Integral, and they're all scared. Did you see how much that bludgeon swung for? Oh, Jack. Was he trying to steal?
He was just poking his head in, but Avant are like, if you're going to poke your head in, we're going to chop it off.
Oh,
Chains misses there for Biggy.
Though, Avant have been forced off Gold Fury. Integral, they're going to be able to come out of the base and look to defend this. You can already see them rotating in.
The bludgeon missing there from Sporks. Taunt comes in a little bit late from FaunKeH. Rowe uses his beads preemptively onto Jack. Explodes on him there. Jack taken down to about 3/4 health. Mouse is here. There comes the cage down from Rowe, but he's going to fall. Can the Gold Fury be taken? Avant, get this one. There comes the Sunbreaker from Subfloor. Biggy taken very low. Great stun there from Ochita. Subfloor's up in the air. Down goes FaunKeH. Robdigidy gets a kill onto Biggy. Jack, extremely low, heals up himself, and Robdigidy. Tomahawk blinks in. Ochita's got himself another one. Sporks taken very low. Tomahawk gets a kill. Ochita all by himself at this point, looking for the kill onto Jack.
3 dead right now. Ochita versus 3. He's going to have to try and find a kill. Jack goes down. Tomahawk trying to chase Ochita. Are they going to get the stun? No, Ochita a little bit too fast. Tosses the slow. That's going to be it, though. Tomahawk finds the kill. 4 dead for Avant. 3 dead for Integral, but Avant got the Gold Fury. It's a win for them.
It's a great confidence builder for Integral, though. They won a team fight.
That was a clean fight. I mean, they won the team fight. They weren't able to get there in time to steal the Gold Fury like they did the first time, but they're going to take that Tier 1 tower as a reward.
What I didn't like from Avant there was when they saw Jack come in, they went all 5 members to chase after him. Should leave 1 member there, keep getting that Gold Fury down, get there down cleanly. If they'd gotten that down earlier, they should have won that team fight.
For me, what I was looking at is Rowe. He was the sacrificial lamb. You saw him throw that old Odin ultimate, locking all members of Integral Nation away from the Gold Fury. He dies, but like you said, Avant still could not burst it. Then it became a 4v5 in Integral's favor. They're able to win the fight. Didn't get the Gold Fury. Taking a look at the graphs, though, 1,000 gold lead for Avant, only 4,000 experience. This game is still dead even.
Yeah, Integral doing so much better than a lot of people expected them. 4th seed in a LAN event where there's only 4 teams, you're the bottom team. No one expects anything from you, especially going up against the top team, the undefeated top team as well.
The team that has dropped 1 set
Yeah.
in the past 9 months in Avant Garde. So far, though, Integral, they're hanging strong. A lot of it, though, I'm looking at Robdigidy. He's done a great job. Even earlier, he wasn't able to find the 1v1 kill against Subfloor, but he's boxing him out even when he's down a level.
Tomahawk is actually the only one on Integral that is positive at this point. He's 3-2-1.
Yeah, but Tomahawk is support. We don't give supports credit here. This is Smite. If they have kills, they're doing it wrong. You want low kills, low deaths, like a million assists.
Yeah. But Rob is the player that early game, he needs to be the one that gets this team through it. He's Anhur. Anhur is just early game. He's looking for a fight here with Subfloor, who's a level above him, but Biggy blinking into the middle lane, gets a no escape down, doesn't pull in anyone. Tomahawk uses the whirlwind to get Biggy under tower, but he's extremely tanky at this point. Great stun there from Mouse. Biggy's going to go down in just a second. Tomahawk looking for the kill. Biggy's still alive.
Biggy's going to get out. Biggy got out. Ultimate's coming through.
Tomahawk very low at this point. So is Mouse, but but the tower's doing immense amounts of damage to Rowe. Ochita picks up a kill, but down goes Rowe in return. Sporks gets one, but he should fall here through the top. Robdigidy through the wall. This is a 2-for-2 trade. Rob gets a double. There it is. Integral taking a 2-for-3 there. These team fights are starting to swing their way.
Avant, a clear miscalculation from them, and Integral taking full advantage of it. Avant, their problem was they couldn't lock down their targets fast enough, and you even took note. The tower doing so much damage to Avant. Blink it, two-man taunt. Biggy at Subfloor in a lot of trouble. Jack throwing out that damage. Can he find the kill? FaunKeH getting chained up. The Flames are going to finish him off. Ult's coming through from Subfloor, and now Biggy and Subfloor, they're actually turning this 2-on-3 fight.
Robdigidy's got no mana. He can't use any abilities at this point. Biggy hits one chain, hits another one, hits the third one, but Robdigidy's out trading him. Jack 47 with a nice heal there. Biggy's going to go down to Jack, and now it's just Subfloor by himself defending this tier 2 in the mid. But Integral, they don't want this fight. They're just going to take the mid camps and back off. 500
gold difference right now. We're 20 minutes in, 10 to 15 kills. This is not the one-sided game that people were expecting. People were expecting Avant to come out here, to have a quick 2-0 and walk out into the finals. Integral, though, they're not letting them do that.
As you said, this is LAN. Anything can happen. A bottom team can come out of nowhere. We saw Tian last year.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying Integral's going to Worlds, but I'm saying we've seen it happen.
I think you just said that.
I mean,
Integral's going to Worlds? Is that what you're saying, Hughes? Is that what you're calling?
I'm not putting money on it.
We're still in game 1. We're like 20 minutes in. Calm down.
Okay.
Calm down. Gold Fury going to be respawning here in about a minute. The question really, is the Gold Fury going to be the next point of contention, or do you think we'll start to see rotations over to this Fire Giant as players are starting to hit level 15, 16, 17 and work their way to 20?
The gold difference at this point is minimal. I believe it's under 1,000 gold at this point, so to have that advantage on the other team, I think it's still going to be really heavily prioritized by both teams. So I think, yes, the next team fight will be at Gold Fury.
Speaking of that, you can already see them grouping up. 30 seconds until that Gold Fury spawns. Integral, though, the past 2 times, they've been pretty far back, getting forced out, and Avant have really controlled that space. Now, though, looks like they're looking for a pick on Biggy, who's in a lot of trouble.
Sand Pillar comes out. Rob, unable to hit many autos there. But the slow on that Stone Pillar is really, really powerful at this point. Avant Garde, they get to the Gold Fury first. Everyone in Integral is rotated to the middle lane, looking to spot out the members from Avant. Gold Fury still not spawned at this point. Both teams kind of just playing that footsie dance you see before an objective comes up or before you start it. Just trying to get the positioning advantage on the other team.
Look at Integral, grouped as 5. They need to be careful, though. The past couple fights, Biggy has pulled 3, 4, sometimes 5 members. And even if he doesn't pull anyone, he forces their ultimates, forces their beads. Integral, they need to make sure that they're not super grouped up for that Ares ultimate, because if No Escape hits a lot of players, you can almost guarantee that you lose the fight.
Or even if Sporks lands an Eagles Rally, that'll be really huge for him as well and give him a great power buff. Rob hit by one chain from Biggy, 2, 3 comes through. Sporks looking for a fight at this point. There is the Scourge.
Nice little poke coming out.
Jack, frontlining for his team. Mouse gets the minions out, gets a stun away, but doesn't lock down Ochita. Sorry, that was Sporks there. Going towards the Gold Fury. Avant starting it up at this point. Everyone from Integral is in the middle lane. They're running down this narrow corridor here, looking to come in and contest it, but both teams really kind of, neither team wants to commit, except for now Rowe goes in with the cage. Down comes the Sunbreaker. Mouse getting pretty low here, goes up with the Fire Shards, comes down, does a lot of damage there, blinks through the wall away from them, and now FaunKeH uses the Defender of Olympus. Ochita getting pretty low. There's a no escape from Biggy. Robdigidy pretty low, but he manages to beads away. There come this Desert Fury. Rowe taken very low at this point. Rob looking for a kill there, but Ochita picks up one onto FaunKeH. Rowe shielding himself to safety. Jack 47 very low. He gets taken out by Sporks. Tomahawk looking for the kill, takes down Rowe.
Tomahawk, he's going to be running away. Robdigidy wants to fight, though. Sporks chasing out the support in the left lane. Tomahawk, he's marked up. Sporks, he's not getting away for free. Tomahawk, bludgeon, going to connect. Not enough damage. One more tap. Sporks finds the kill, but look at this. Mouse took a trip back to base. He's rotated back in. It's Biggy and Robdigidy. Who's going to take the fight? It looks like both teams are going to back off. Gold Fury not taken by anyone. 3 kills on the side of Avant. Only 2 for Integral.
But they stopped Avant from getting the Gold Fury.
Yeah, they forced him back. For me, though...
Look at the gold difference.
It's 400. This game is dead even. And for me, I'm looking at Tomahawk. I joked about it earlier with the supports, but he has done such a phenomenal job at protecting his team. Every single time Rowe blinks in and throws that Odin cage, or Biggy blinks in and grabs multiple players with no escape, he immediately dives the back line. He forces Subfloor out, he forces Ochita out, and to make sure they can't get off all their damage immediately to combo with those big AoE teamfight ultimates.
And we can see the Watcher's Gift playing a really big part here. He's 1,400 gold ahead of Biggy. He's got his hardwood online. Looks like he's going into a Witchblade there to stop down some of the slows. So that's going to be really huge for him in teamfights.
No, that's Wingblade.
Oh,
that's gonna be immunity to slows, a bunch of health, and honestly, Wingblade is such a good option here. You take a look at Avant and look at all the slows they have. Sporks has a slow, Rowe has a slow, Ochita has a slow. Everyone but Subfloor has a no, even his ultimate.
Yeah, it's a
Sunbreaker.
slow.
Everyone has a slow on Avant, so that slow immunity going to be a big part in this next team fight. Gold Fury started up. Robdigidy, he's going to smell it out, but Integral, they're not all in position. Look at this, Jack on the right lane.
The big thing for me at this point as well is Ochita is 8-3-6, 1,000 gold ahead of Mouse at this point, and about 2 levels of Rowe blinks in there. There comes the cage and the Sunbreaker ultimate, but everyone from Integral gets out. FaunKeH taunts away Biggy and Sporks. That's a lot of damage and slows going out there. Jack picks up the kill onto Subfloor. Tomahawk with the whirlwind.
This
throws
is
back
Integral's fight.
Biggy, no escape, doesn't pull in anyone except for FaunKeH, but he doesn't care. Rowe getting bursted down at this point. There's the shield. He jumps away. Biggy is in trouble, though. Tomahawk roots him down. Heal comes out from Jack. Mouse gets the kill there. This is 2-0 in favor of Integral at this point, and they're looking for the tier 2 in the mid.
They're not even going Gold Fury. They're going to be taking towers. Are they... Okay, I don't think they're going to be forcing Fire Giant yet, but they're taking that tower. Oh, Sporks teleporting. This is going to be trouble. He's just walked into 5 players. Eagle Drowning in place.
Stun!
Oh, looking for damage. Integral, they're on full retreat, but Sporks, he's been poked out. Oh, the cage. Mouse, he's caught in place. Jack as well. Rowe, big play from him. Sporks, big play from him, and he's getting in trouble though. Rob looks like he wants to fight.
Down goes Sporks. Rowe got to go down here very shortly, but Ochita picks up the kill onto Robdigidy, and that's a lot of Integral's damage. FaunKeH and Tomahawk need to get out here before they give up any more kills. The call to go for the tier 2 mid there, I don't think was the correct one. Gold Fury was a bit of a safer option, but Integral really feeling themselves after that successful team fight.
Game still dead even. Integral showing that they can turn fights, and once again, Tomahawk, and it wasn't just Tomahawk, it was Jack as well. Immediately diving Avant Garde's backline. Ochita, Subfloor, and Sporks were all just forced out of that fight immediately. I mean, Biggy went in, Rowe went in, but they couldn't get the damage off they needed. They couldn't lock down the players because their carries were being dealt with.
This is Avant Garde's Gold Fury right here, going to go down in very short order. No one even from Integral is around to contest this. Going down a little bit slower than I expected, actually. Nice ricochet there from Subfloor. Going to secure that, so the gold difference going to go up a bit in Avant Garde's favor at this point, but 25 minutes into the game, it should be much more than this.
For Avant, right? The undefeated Pro League Avant team that has dropped 1 set in 9 months. We talked about it. We're going to keep talking about it. Integral are showing up to play at the Oceanic Regionals right now. Gold Fury taken. It looks like Fire Giant is the next point of contention. We have some counter warding going on from both teams, it seems. FaunKeH gonna spot that one out there. Are they gonna catch? No, just missed him. Just missed stopping Rowe's back.
Yeah. One really big thing to me, I mentioned it before, was Ochita. His starter item was Soul Stone, so that allowed him to do a fair bit of damage early and get some nice MP5, but he is 10-3-7. He's 17 out of 21 of Avant's kills.
Can we actually take a look at player damage? Because, I mean, there's been so much AoE team fight, you have to imagine that Ochita is pumping out the damage numbers. Just those ghosts doing so much work every engagement.
He's been getting some nice stuns off as well, and we're unable to see the damage numbers at this point, but he's level 20. I believe he was the first to get that. I think he was before Sporks.
Yeah, and that last engagement at the Gold Fury, he hit level 20. Sporks, wow, he's doing so much work as well. And Robdigidy, the carry player for Integral, showing up as well.
One thing that's a bit disappointing to me is that Mouse is behind damage to Jack 47. Jack does have Mystical Mail, Bluestone on Guan, but still, Mouse is really the damage dealer of this team when Robdigidy is not on her E, but...
I mean, speaking of Robdigidy, nowhere. He's going to be forced to beads and jump away. Beats, beats 3, so not going to be on cooldown for too long, but Avant all grouped up. Integral, what they were doing so well before was fighting as 5, but now it's a 4v5 under this tier 1. Pretty sure Avant's going to grab it, and Integral just going to be forced to back off.
Just a smart play, you know, it's not worth it at this point. Biggy gets in, 4-man, no escape. Tomahawk counter blinks in, uses the whirlwind, only picks up Rowe there, and Subfloor as well, but now Avant Garde turning this one. Rowe jumps in, there's a Sunbreaker and the cage. FaunKeH goes down to Sporks. Sporks has got a double onto Tomahawk. Jack 47 unable to get away. Subfloor picks him up, and Robdigidy caught between 3 members of Avant, jumps away, but Rowe was right on his tail. The chains, the bludgeon, Ochita gonna secure that one, and it is just Mouse left.
Are they still chasing?
Rowe
is still chasing.
He doesn't have tower
into the
aggression,
Phoenix.
though.
One more hit. Deicide coming out for Avant Garde. Big plays for them. They're going to take not only the tier 1 tower, but the tier 2 tower, and they're working on the Phoenix. Are they going to look for the end?
They can win.
No one's spawning for a number of seconds here. Avant Garde, this could be game 1. 21 minutes in, they find the perfect Deicide. Tian under 5,000. Takes out Biggy, though.
GG.
GG.
Avant woke up. Avant woke up. They were in the game. They were realizing, whoa, guys, this is Integral. We should be so much more ahead now than what we are. We are Avant. We are undefeated. We are not going down game 1 to these guys. And Ochita showed up. Ochita and Sporks. Amazing.
They played fantastic, and for me, especially in the end fights, Rowe hit some really nice Odin cages, locking these players in place. You just saw that last engagement. It was all Rowe. The perfect placement, locked Jack in, locked Mouse in, and the players, the carries on Avant were able to find their targets. But yeah, Sporks also creating so much space.
Amazing.
I think the team woke up is really, I think that was a good, some good analysis. But, you know, Integral, they were working so well as a unit of 5, and then player or two started getting picked in the late game. They didn't die, but they were forced back, and then Integral, they just weren't taking the 5v5 fights that they were performing so well in earlier on.
I don't know if I would call the tier 2 fight where they got pretty much wiped a throw, but that certainly was the turning point for me.
Yeah, Robdigidy unfortunately was picked at the beginning of that engagement, and the rest of the players, it seemed like they were unsure on what they wanted to do, what engagement they wanted to go, and Avant, they just took perfect advantage of it, found that, and they found game 1.
So, who for you on Integral stood out?
On Integral, I'm really looking at Tomahawk, right? I had the jokes earlier, but every time Biggy blinked in, he was finding like 3, 4, even 5 players sometimes with the no escape ultimate, and then the counter blink every single time from Tomahawk, throwing out that whirlwind of Rage and Steel, locking down the important carries on Avant, and he was able to do in that last engagement, but Avant smartly backed off and then looked for the re-engage, and that's where they found the win.
See, where Biggy was finding the 3 or 4 person no escapes, Tomahawk was only getting 1 or 2 people in his whirlwinds. So I think we're going to take a look at First Blood coming up here, and it's going to be, of course, it's going to be Robdigidy being picked off here, Biggy getting him with the chains, and Subfloor's aggression. The jump in was just crazy. It was really good play.
I mean, you just look at this dual lane that Avant drafted, and it just spells aggression. It was Ares and it was Huyi. They both have stuns and cripples and slows, and just their base abilities. And if you get caught by one of those, you get locked down quickly. That's what we saw. We saw Biggy hit the chains, and when that cripple applies, you can't use any jumps or movement abilities. And without beads online early to break CC, to break that control, Robdigidy had nowhere to go. Nice first blood for Avant. Integral, though, did fight back. Maybe not so much in individual fights, because I believe actually Sporks sold out Jack as well, but it was the team fights where they were succeeding.
Integral's got a really good chemistry. Now, the roster is actually kind of relatively new together. FaunKeH only joined them in the Challengers Cup tournament before qualifying for PAX. That was the qualifying tournament. He joined it from that. Previously, he was on another Pro League team, Team Solo Theo.
Okay.
And due to roster lock rules and stuff, he was able to join Integral, and that change was a switch thrown from Integral. That's when they went through and they came second in that tournament, but they breezed through kind of the first stage of it. And the synergy that this team has been developing the last month coming towards PAX has been crazy. I mean, we saw the difference there. We saw the difference in that game.
Great plays. Jack also, his rotations, picked up the very early teleport. He was forced out of lane, and then played kind of that defensive style. You saw him sitting for the most part, allowing Sporks to rotate, and then he would just teleport in when he was needed, when his team called him. I would just say it was just kind of like small mistakes in the end game that kind of did it for Integral. They did a fantastic job of team fighting. I'm looking at the jungle. FaunKeH, you talked about him before, new to the team. The Athena pick didn't really work out. We just really didn't see anything from it. The taunts were coming through, but it was a more defensive route than anything to save Mouse in most fights.
You taunted Sporks off a bludgeon a couple of times, which is really big because that can do so much damage.
Sporks was swinging early.
Yeah.
He was like 3 or 4 levels ahead, and the rest of Integral were able to catch up eventually. But yeah, Sporks was swinging.
Yeah, Sporks. So we're going to go into looking at the Gold Fury here. This is the steal from Robdigidy and Tomahawk, actually. I really want to take another look at this one and see what it was that picked it up. I believe it was the Desert Fury coming through from Robdigidy. Big chains miss there from Biggy. That was huge. And yeah, it's the Desert Fury from Rob that picks it up.
It was Tomahawk, though, blinking in, throwing out that whirlwind. You saw all these players grouped up, and he forced them away from the Gold Fury. They literally couldn't do any damage to it. And also, Tomahawk was able to find a kill off that as well. Pretty important.
Yeah, it was a big play for them, and that was kind of... We say at the end of their Avant woke up. That was kind of when Integral woke up, and we're like, we're here at PAX. Let's just take a chance. Let's go in and let's be aggressive.
I think Avant is going to be giving Integral a lot of respect. We saw it in Game 1 a little bit early. I think that was more land nerves than anything, not necessarily giving them respect. But after how close that game was, literally it was dead even until the last Gold Fury and the last team fight. If those went a little bit differently, we could have saw Integral find an upset into Game 1. Right now, Avant team organizing, getting ready. Captain coach, actually,
Yeah.
former Titan coach. We didn't mention that. The former Titan coach, you talked about him last year, making it all the way to Worlds as the underdogs. They came from the European Challengers Cup and went all 5 games in the finals at Worlds. And since then, their coach has found himself in Oceania.
I mean, it's a bit of a nicer place to be than Europe, I think. Nice weather here, good-looking girls, kangaroos. all that.
Kangaroos. I haven't seen a kangaroo yet in Australia.
Did you-
I'm a little disappointed.
Did you have some last night? Or
No,
that-
it was on
that-
the other end of the table.
Oh, you should have come down. It
I
was
gotta.
so nice.
All right, I'm gonna try some tonight.
It's good.
Is that like? Am I gonna get in trouble for saying?
No.
That's
It's legal.
normal? Okay.
Yeah, it's legal.
Isn't it like a national?
It's
animal
the
or
national
something?
animal of Australia.
And
That
you
and
eat your
emus.
national-
We can eat both of them as kangaroos
Isn't
and
that
emus.
weird? Like if you're national, I don't know.
I don't know.
The teams, though, it looks like they're getting ready. Avant just took a trip back to their computers. We're going to be getting into Game 2 soon. Just a quick reminder, guys, we're at PAX Australia here live at the ESL Arena for the Oceanic Regional Championships. The largest, actually, prize pool in Oceania history, a single-day event, and we're going to be finding one of these teams to represent Oceania at the Smart World Championship.
So last year, as Sandman mentioned, there were 8 teams. This year it's been expanded
Yes.
to 10 teams, and one of those teams is going to be the Oceania representative. Now, OCE, bit of an unknown region to NA and EU. Not as less known as China. No one knows what's going on in China, but OCE kind of a bit of a wild card team.
Yeah.
You know, because they haven't played against top-level competition. They've only played against each other. So the top teams like Avant and Direwolves and Integral and SYF now, we don't know how they stack up against those NA and EU teams. So I'm really looking forward to seeing whatever team goes to Worlds and see how they do and represent the OCE region. They'll be training very hard. Everyone here will be behind them.
Last year was NA and EU dominated at the Smart World Championships, but I know actually a lot of the members on the Oceania teams were playing on the North American and European servers before they even came out. So these players, while they may be new to the competitive scene in their own region, they've been playing Smite for a long time. These players, I think, whatever team comes out on top here, whether it be Avant, Direwolves, SYF, or Integral, they're going to, I would say, surprise some of the NA and EU teams. I think we're going to be seeing some upsets. I think we're going to be seeing someone make it to the finals who may not be from those dominant regions.
It'll be very interesting to see. I believe Game 2 is going to be coming up very shortly, just getting everything set up between the two teams at this point.